Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. I want to get down to business because this is the stuff that will help you with whatever it is that you are tackling this week, whether it's the sprint or Hot Melt 30, or you're doing both. I mean, honestly, Hot Melt 30, you just begin the program with Hot Melt 30. You're basically hot melting anyway, right? You're basically sprinting anyway. So I love all of this, and I love these contrasts. Contrast to me is all the things, right? All the things. So the difference is between being an amateur or being a professional. And sometimes we're a little bit of a mixture of both. Nobody has this down pat, right? But a lot of us could take from professionals to really get there. So when you think about what separates success from failure, what we're oftentimes looking at, those who've experienced sustained success versus those who stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. You've seen that. You know, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. Jennifer, let's not call you that. Let's not call you that. Oh, listen. Listen, Jennifer just said, I'm a struggler. Rather than brand yourself with struggling, because what we've just done is activated your reticular activating system to say, now let's look for all the struggle in the world that we can put and heap into Jennifer's life. Let's not go there. Instead, I have moments of struggle. We all have moments of struggle, right? Let's reframe this so that we can start getting into the place of moving from this place of perpetual struggle and into this place of having moments of, okay? Because and I'm going to agree with what Catherine just said. You are a winner. You are, and you're excellent. You know, you're not perfect. And guess what? We like you that way. We like you that way. Remember, we're never going to see perfection this side of glory. No, but boy, oh boy, there's plenty of room to be excellent. And we don't have to beat ourselves up to excellence. We just have to love ourselves up to there. What a difference. Isn't there a difference there? Back at you, Jennifer. We love you. So let's take a look at this, because this is such a good thing what Jennifer just said, because it is kind of a setup for what this is. And I want you all to look at the way in which you label yourself. Because remember, if we're going to be the bosses of our lives, we have to be the bosses of our brains first. If we're going to be the queen of our lives, then we have to rule over our brains. Otherwise, we give them too much material to go ahead and start dabbling around and pulling in all the evidence that you need to support the struggle fest. Who wants that? I know I don't, and I know you don't either. That's why we're going to be talking about this. This is how the pros get it done, right? This is how the pros get down into the weeds and say, this is not a problem. It might be a lot, but it's not a problem. There's always a solution. Everything is always figure outable, blah, 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 blah. And I know that sounds like one platitude after the other, but it's really not, because it's looking constantly for solutions instead of dwelling on the problems. There you go. Look at what Nancy just said. Everybody take a note. I am learning. Yes, you are. I am learning. I am expanding my vision for myself. I am a professional, right? I am a professional. I'm here to do a good job on my life, because you've heard the old saying, life is not a dress rehearsal. True. It's not. But oftentimes, how often do we treat it like that? Kind of blow the day off, or I did that this weekend with all of my projects. I got them all done, but man, I was exhausted. I overestimated what it would take to get them done. I pulled out the pantry, I pulled out my closet, I did all kinds of stuff, and I got them done, and everything is put away. But at what expense? We have to take a lot of that, because The other thing that we have to look at, there's a lot of folks out there, and I mean, they're so-called influencers. You're going to see them, on Instagram and all this, doing all of their things. There's a lot of people out there who are putting themselves out there, pontificating ad nauseum about their expertise. But they're, you know what? They're lots of talk, but not much walk. There's a ton of that. Sleight of hand, pretending, and also being, know-it-alls of everything when they're really hardly know anything. I've seen a ton of that. So have you. And it really does separate out who the amateurs are versus the professionals, because professionals understand that they don't know everything about everything, right? They don't. And they're not afraid to say, I don't know. I've said this to you a few times. I don't know about that. I'm going to have to research it. I'm going to do the best that I can with what I get. And even after I've researched something, even after I've researched something, that doesn't necessarily mean that what I have to say is the be all end all and discussion is closed. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a PhD in nutrition. I don't have, I haven't spent a lifetime researching this stuff. So we have to keep these kind of things. And there are professionals out there and there's amateurs. And boy, oh boy, have you noticed how many amateur infection? I can't even say epidemiology. Yeah, there it is. Have you noticed that? There's a lot of people out there, experts on Facebook, right? Barely graduated high school, but I'll tell you what, they're experts, tons. And now, with whatever is happening out there, they become these experts, and it's just insanity. And you see it all the time. And all I'm saying is that in order for us to become professionals in our lives, we have to start recognizing the fact that we don't know everything. And just by a simple Google search, we can't know everything from there. We can get a glimpse of everything and understand something else too. We all have bias, confirmation bias. All of us, every single one of us. You know what? I do. And when I go searching for answers, you know what I'm going to be looking for? I am going to be looking for things that support whole food eating. I am going to be looking for things that are going to support a vibrant life. That's my bent. And when somebody comes to me and says, well, what about this, 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 and this? Well, I always look at it from the perspective of, is it going to support all of that? And does that mean that my bias is my bias? Probably. But you know what? I've noticed the difference, and I have the contrast in my own life to know what this feels like versus this. Big, big contrast. I've built a bridge. And I'm not done building my bridge, but I built a bridge enough to know the difference between feeling good and not feeling good. And it's a professional versus an amateur role. And it's how we go about doing things. Because professionals are in it for the long run. They're not there to just sprint and be gone, And I will say, with all due respect, I see so many people, oh, goody, sprinting, yay, 7 days. I'm in it. Wednesday comes, I'm out of it. Friday comes, crickets. Sunday, we never hear from them again. Putting on Monday, checking in with results, nothing. They're gone. We get a lot of people in who then leave. And it's fine. This is what happens. This is my expectation. Thousands of people have gone through this program. But the ones and the cream that has always risen to the top are the ones who take it as a professional responsibility to go get the work done. Not just do the work, but also implement it and get it done. Start to finish, all the way through. They don't mess around. Paul Calejo said, the world is changed by your example and not your opinion. Don't you love that? How many times have you seen this with opinions going? Just opinion, blah, blah, my opinion, blah, blah, my opinion. I read somewhere this, that, and the other thing, or should, blah, blah. I heard opinion. But if your example is one of living a life that is above board and is continuous and regular and consistent, now there you go. Now that's an example that I want to follow, right? Isn't that the truth? Hi, Sarah. Yeah, that's a pro move. Exactly. Did you see what Sarah said? Starting each day with a smoothie is a pro move for sure. It's like, this is the reason why I'm so adamant about it, because it is an entirely pro move, because everything is contained in it. The more things that we can put in each move, the better it is. Now, when we're exercising, there are things called compound moves, where you move using more than one body part. Now, the 4-minute workout, compound move. That's why it's so effective. And so when we can compound, it's called the compound effect. If we can compound things into do one thing and get a secondary a benefit on the other, we're there. You know, what we want to do, for example, like with our Target Trifecta smoothie, is what we're looking for is getting all those nutrients in. And then also, because we're interested in weight loss and also getting our hunger hormones under control, we're looking at feeling that satisfied feeling, and getting all of those things in, the protein, the fiber, and the green, right? And the fat. I mean, all of those things are going to hit, check the box, check the box, check the box. It's really, really important. So pros execute faithfully on the principles that we're talking about. You know, they're not looking for excuses. They're faithfully out doing the work. So what do you get? Pros keep going and amateurs quit when the going gets tough. That's what I'm talking about. And I see this in the sprint all the time, all the time. I'm excited. I'm glad. I'm here. Let's go. Blah, blah, blah. Friday, they're gone. You know, the weekend's here, right? The weekend, off the rails. Not going to do the tough stuff. Not going to say no to the glass of wine on Friday night. Not going to, you know, duck out for, you know, they're going to lose it on brunch on Sunday. All of that is just, that's amateur stuff. Pros stay the course. Pros just say, you know what, just it's one meal. It's one brunch. It's one Friday night. I can do this. I'm a professional. Pros see practice as competence, and amateurs, what do? I'm so bored. So they bail. We do. I get it. You know, it's sometimes you get to the place where it's just like, do I have to have another soup? Really? Do I have to have another smoothie? Really? Well, yeah, if we're going to stay the course, we're going to stay the course. It's 7 days. Big deal. Or if you're doing the Hot Melt 30, it is 1/12 of your year. Think about that. And 1/12 of the year, and think about what you can do. Now, I'm going to use Tanya Tanya and Marguerite as my examples for this. Stayed faithful, did the work, showed up daily, did it. And look at the results. Look at they speak for themselves. Where's everybody else, right? Bail. You know, boom. And I'm not saying everybody did, but so many did. And the needle moving aspect of just a 7-day hot melt sprint versus a 30-day hot melt 30 is that commitment level, that excellence of consistency. That's the difference. And when they got bored, they just kept going. The consistency was the thing. Not wanting to do it wasn't the obstacle. Not wanting to do it was just like, okay, so there it is. There's that speed bump. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to go do it anyway. I saw that how many times right there. Hi, Gloria. I saw that how many times with Marguerite. You know, I wasn't going to walk. I didn't want to blah, blah. It was hot, doo-dah day. And she went and did it anyway. You know, I was sitting here listening to the show, and then I went blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do it anyway. How about that? Professional. And professionals also are, amateurs get bored, right? Or rather, amateurs keep looking for motivation. Constantly. I don't know what happened to my motivation. It was just here and now it's gone, and I just don't have the motivation. I told you the story about my pen pal from customer service who said, I can't get off the couch. I can't do it. I'm just blah, blah, blah. And I kept going back and forth with her. And I said, motivation's not going to come knocking on your door, sister. Motivation isn't going to say, hey, you, tap on her shoulder and say, get off the couch. Motivation doesn't do that. And when we are so dependent on motivation, it's like, it just means that we are outside of ourselves instead of looking inside for the gumption, you know, or the grit to just say, you know what, I'm just going to do it anyway. I don't need motivation to show up and do that. All I have to do is get my butt up off the couch. How simple is that? And pros see that. They pros see and know that motivation to do something is fleeting. Everybody's got a motivation from the beginning. Everyone. Because they have a vision. Oh my gosh, what if I lost 20 pounds? Oh my gosh, what if I did this and I was able to get off this medication? Or, oh my gosh, we're all motivated by something that we see that could be a possibility. But then moving to the place of actually doing it, that's what separates the sheep from the goats. Absolutely, 100%. Pros know that learning and skills are everything. And amateurs say, well, you know what? That's too hard. I don't have time for that. Amateurs look for the obstacle, they look for the excuse, and then they rationalize they're not doing it for that. It's an amateur move. And we've all done it, haven't we? We've all done it. And yet the Michael Phelps of the world get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go swimming because it's not about their motivation, it's about their vision for their lives. And I'm not suggesting that we all need to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do our exercise or 4 o'clock in the morning. But if we have a vision for our lives and the only place that we can make time to practice the thing that needs to be practiced to get that vision to completeness is at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to say we're going to figure it out. Marguerite figured it out sitting in the car. I'm listening to the show, and you know what? I'm just going to do it anyway. She figured it out. I'm using two very stark examples because Marguerite's like you and me. We're everyday women, right? We're everyday women. We're everyday women with the things that we have to do. Michael Phelps is an Olympian, and won how many bazillion medals, right? They figured it out. And all I'm saying is that professionals know that everything is figure outable. Professionals have a handle on their time, have a handle on their schedules, and they get it. Amateurs don't. Amateurs just go, well, that's okay for them, but I can't do that. I don't have time for that. No, I'm homeschooling, 15 kids. I've got this, that, and the other thing. My husband, yeah, we all have it. We can all find reasons why not. But to find the reason why, that's a Diana Nyad move right there. Right, Lucy? Exactly. That's Diana all the way. Find a way. And you don't have to be an Olympic athlete. You don't have to be Diana Nyad. You just have to be a woman on a mission. Period. It's your life we're talking about. Life isn't a dress rehearsal. You've got one shot. And so we have to see this bare bones contrast. There's professionals and there's amateurs. Who do you want to be, right? Who do you want to be? So when we're going to go down to the how-tos of the whole thing, it's a matter of mindset. And the first thing you need to do is you need to make a decision. You need to declare it and you need to decree it that from now on, this is the way it is. It is a manifesto. This is your life. I am an athlete. Athletes show up at the training table with what they eat. They show up at the gym. Athletes get it done because you cannot be an athlete sitting on your butt all day, right? You can't. You can't be an athlete. You turn into mush sitting all day long. You literally lose muscle. You literally become fatter. That's right. We all have fat. Getting fatter just means that your muscles are getting smaller and smaller and your fat cells are having a party. And what is that going to do? What do you think that's going to do to your pain level and your inflammation level? What do you think your blood tests are going to look like? That's why I'm saying this. Stark contrast. Stark contrast. Number 2, commit to the vision of the dailiness of this whole thing. It is not a part-time gig. Your life isn't a part-time gig. Life is full-time. And the way that you move about and do things for your life, for the vision of your life, for the vibrancy of the vision of your life, is how you're going to get anything done. How you do one thing is how you do everything. You've heard that before. And that's why this commitment is so incredibly important. Commit to the process of being a professional and understand it's all a process. It's all a process. You will get bored. There will be times you don't want to do it. You're going to say, oh, what about this? And then I'm going to go ask you to go get that vision board out and go get fired up all over again, because this is exactly how you get to the place of consistent results. Exactly. Professionals know this. That's why they show up. That's why it's called practice. Your daily life is a daily practice. Number 3, your priorities will automatically, remember we did automation last week? Should have talked about this a little bit more, but priorities will automatically put in boundaries for you. If you prioritize your working out or whatever, then that means something else has got to go, if that's how tight your schedule is. Maybe you forgo staying up a little bit later so you can go to bed a little bit earlier, so you can get up a little bit earlier so you can get your workout in. I don't know what your life is like. I don't know how jam-packed it is. I don't know. But what I do know is this, that when you make a decision, when you declare it and when you decree it, this is my life. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is what I want. You are a professional at that point. And you've just moved the line. You've just moved your life. You've just moved yourself into a whole new place. Got it? That's how it works. Priorities will create the boundaries for you. Number 4, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. This is why the Hot Melt 30 is not free. You know why? I don't need your $27, but I need you to put the $27 on your life. I need you to say, I am willing to invest. You know, I want you to go all the way. I want you to stop the stop and start. I want you to stop the inconsistency. I want you to stop this excuse fest and move in instead to the place of being a professional and understanding every single day there's going to be something that you'll have to overcome in order to live that vibrant life that you want. Your vibrancy is on the path. It's not a destination. Professionals get that. And even in the place of the struggle, there is still a place of victory when you just say, I'm just going to stay with it anyway. Marguerite says the investment is well worth it. It is. I agree with you 100%, Marguerite. It's well worth it. You know, I invest in myself probably weekly at least. I buy books, I read, I take courses. You know, I'm doing something constantly to learn, because learning's the needle mover. Learning is the thing that takes the amateur to the professional level. You can't do that without daily practice. You can't do that by educating it unless you educate yourself. You can't do it unless you're willing to put something in. And it usually involves getting out a credit card. So what? You buy things. You know, you buy these courses for yourself so that you can learn. You buy books so you can read. You do these things so that you can become the best that you can be. You do. Why do we eat? Why do we take supplements? For fun? Who here is just enjoying handfuls of pills? You know, I got a big pile of them upstairs that I'm going to take when I break my fast. Do I enjoy them? No. Is it my favorite activity to do? Absolutely not. Do I take them? You better believe it. You know why? It takes me up a notch. It makes me feel better. I know exactly what each one of those supplements are doing, and that's why we do it. It's an investment in myself, period. Number 5, and this is the last one, I want you to wake up on fire every morning for your life. And in order to have fire for your life, in order to really feel the emotional feels, in order to have the pro moves at your fingertips to live this life, you got to wake up with purpose and a plan. You know, it doesn't just come. We have this notion motivation is just going to come. We have this idea that we're just going to wake up one day and it's all going to be there. No, it doesn't. It's a decision-making process. And the decision is the thing that's going to light your life on fire. That decision, because you'll be able to see and you visualize exactly what it is that you want for your life. My house is exactly that manifestation of everything I just said. 100%. The dock, the house, the pontoon boat, the ability to be able to hold my retreats here, all of it. It's a manifestation of the same thing. And how did it start out? It started with me making a declaration of this is what I want to do, a decree. I am going to make this happen. And then one day, you know what? I woke up and I just said, it's not enough to want it. It's enough, but every single day I need to wake up on fire for it. How you emote over something that you want, suddenly your reticular activating system is going to start saying, let's feed this girl. She's on fire. We gotta give her what she wants, That's the kind of stuff we need to give our reticular activating system. We don't need to say, hey, I'm struggling, because then your reticular activating system say, okay, let me give you some of that. How about instead, I am having retreats in my house on the water with a boat and a dock. That's what I started doing. And I started emoting for that instead of the struggle. And guess what happened? Go look out my window. It's all right there. It's all right there. So when we wake up with a purpose and a plan and we kick it all in the butt, we light it on fire, we do it. We just start doing it. And you know what? But we do too. This is one of my biggest things. We talked about this and we did a whole show on it. I start to eat those big frogs first. I get the things done out of the way. This is workout hair, by the way. And this is why this little bandana is on, because really my hair needs a nice, good washing. But I just did not have time with all the things that I had to do today. I'm sitting here stinky and sweaty and I need a shower. But you know what? First things first, those frogs got eaten this morning. They did. And I eat the ugly one first. Which means go spin on that bike, go get those weights out and get those things. That's the second ugliest leg and butt day. That's the second ugliest frog. We just do what we have to do. I'm an athlete. If I'm an athlete, I need to show up. If I'm an athlete, I need to do those things, right? If you are going to have a vibrant life, you're going to have to start figuring out what your frogs are. You're going to have to start figuring out the things that light you up. And you're going to have to start deciding and decreeing and making a declaration about the kind of life that you want. Because if it's one filled with vibrancy, then we need to put down the struggle and pick up the vision. Because the vision's the thing that's going to clarify this whole darn thing. And I'll tell you what, if you can start seeing it crisp in your head, if you can start emoting and start getting excited about it and just say, oh yeah, that's what I want. That's my life. That's what I see for me. Do that daily. Wake up like that with purpose and a plan. Nobody's going to be able to hold it back. The kingdom of heaven is going to throw open the gates and say, give the girl what she wants. She's lighting this place on fire. I want you there. And I believe that when we make the decision about our lives to be pros instead of amateurs, and to see the contrast of all of this stuff and to see what it is that we're focused on, we get to do that. Just that simple. What do you think about that? You ready for tomorrow? Got some more good stuff for you. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really delighted again that you showed up. And by the way, if you want to, you can always share these broadcasts. Share, publicly to your feed, and tell a few friends to come on down. We got a lot going on here. We'd love it if you would share. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.